Welcome everybody to the first episode of Ramblin' Hoops. Um, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm just gonna be doing a mid-season recap, kind of. Just talking about bits and pieces of the teams, in the league and what I know and have seen from them. So we're gonna start off with the East first. I did the Sixers. And they're looking a little rough. They're currently the 11th seed right now, which honestly, pretty good for them, I would say. As you know, they've only had Embiid for 14 games, and the injury bug that's been going around the league has just decimated this Sixers team. I mean, decimated the Sixers team. Paul George has been out with some time. Maxi's been out with some time. Embiid, like I said, 14 games, came out and said he wasn't even going to play back-to-backs, which as a superstar, I don't think you should be saying that, especially to the media. Like maybe to your team, like saying it to your team, being like, hey guys, don't really know if I'm going to be playing back-to-backs. But come out here and say that? That's kind of weird. And Jared McCain, I mean, he was hooping before he got hurt. And he was looking like the rookie of the year. But then obviously he got hurt. And that Paul George trade, I didn't know I didn't know Paul George could be in a worse position for his career. I mean, to leave the Clippers after not being able to do a whole lot, that obviously, him and Kawhi not really playing a whole lot together because of both of them being injured so much. But to leave the Clippers and coming here and getting paid as much money as he is to just play like Tobias Harris is kind of nuts to me. I think they can make the play-in. They can definitely make a push for the play-in. I mean, like I said, they're the 11th seed. They're right there. And there's plenty of more season left. So honestly, I would not be surprised if the Sixers somehow manage to get into the play-in, at least the play-in. At the least the play-in. I can definitely see a world where Embiid is finally healthy. I know that's, not saying much when it comes to an Embiid playoff run since he's been hurt almost every year he's gone to the playoffs. But I think they could do it. They're definitely gaining ground. Okay, so now I have the Bucks. Dame and Giannis. I saw obviously everybody knows who Sentel is. Sentel tweeted about how bad the Bucks were, and then they have been on a tear. 5th seed, 27-22, not bad. Dame and Giannis both played 41 games and started 41 games. Dame's averaging 25. Giannis is averaging 38 or 31. Sorry, so Giannis is averaging 31.8. Dame is averaging 25. Dame is shooting 37, almost 38% on basically 9.3 clip. Giannis 60% from the field. What? And then on top of that, he has 9, almost averaging 10 rebounds. Don't think they're going to be really that crazy. Everybody knows the Middleton and Kuzma trade between the Bucks and the Wizards. Feel really bad for Chris Middleton. A lot of people are not hating. A lot of people aren't really too crazy about this move, which I completely understand. Because Kuzma has been horrible this season. Horrible. But I think now that Kuzma is going to a team that has 2 top 20 players, one's a top 5. I think a lot of people are not liking this trade really. I don't know all of the details to the trade. Let's go to Shams. Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., who I'm going to be honest, I really don't know who that is. In a second round draft compensation, it says here. I think, though, personally, I think Kuzma can fit the role, fit a Chris Middleton role really well. Or I've seen some people also say if he could just go back to what he did in that 2020 bubble, attack mismatches, hit the occasional 3, that this trio could kind of work. I don't think this is pushing the Bucks far into a deep playoff run at all. I just think the Knicks, Cavs, and Celtics are just gonna stomp them into the ground if they tried. Because the East is actually, at least for those 3 teams that I named off, the East is looking pretty good. Okay, Bulls. As a Kenny Beecham fan, a recent Kenny Beecham, I just kind of started getting into his stuff recently, like the past half a year. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for anybody who's a Bulls fan, because that front office just seems like they don't care about anything. They are currently 10th right now, sitting in a play-in spot, the same spot they've been sitting at for the past 3 years, I think. The front office genuinely just doesn't care. They didn't make any trades other than obviously the Levine trade that happened. But I think we can all agree that they kind of got fleeced on that, because this is the 3rd time they have traded someone away literally in the past half a year, and they haven't gotten a first round pick. You're telling me you traded away Zach LaVine, you traded away DeMar DeRozan and Caruso, and you couldn't get a single draft pick? Not even one? Especially the Josh Giddey Caruso trade, which, as a Thunder fan, I was so shocked that went through. I was like, you're telling me that was just a 1-for-1? I'll take it. Matas Buzelis. I think I'm saying that name right. He's looked promising. He's had some very promising, just the other day he had 24 points and he didn't miss a shot. But he's not really getting games. They're just not playing him. Really. He's played, okay, so he's played 50 games. But he started one the other day, but he doesn't get a lot of minutes. He's getting 14 minutes a game as a lottery pick. 14 minutes a game as a lottery pick for a team that is so unbelievably mid. I just think that's crazy. The Cavs. We're moving on to the Cavs. The Cavs have been phenomenal this season. I mean, Kenny Atkinson coming in and replacing JB Bickerstaff, in my opinion, was probably the best idea that the Cavs front office could have done. I thought JB, I didn't think he was that good of a coach. I genuinely, and I've heard Charles Barkley say this one time, and I really didn't like the way he said it, but I really do think that there was times where the Cavs won based off talent and not off coaching. Obviously JB is doing really well on the Pistons. We'll get to that in a bit. The starters though for the Cavs. And they just picked up DeAndre Hunter. And the Hawks got back George Niang and Karis LeVert. Now, I'm a Michigan Hoops fan. Sucks to see that Cleveland got rid of Karis LeVert. But at the end of the day, DeAndre Hunter is just having a much better season. Especially in the beginning before Jalen Johnson got hurt. He was looking like the sixth man of the year, or at least had a good case. So I think the Cavs picking up DeAndre Hunter was a very, 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 very good thing for them. 3 All-Stars, Spida, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley, who I believe all 3 of them really deserved it. I was honestly kind of surprised Darius Garland got it over Trae Young. I think that's kind of crazy to me. But at the same time, like, Darius Garland is on the number 1 team in the East, and he is playing just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. They're 41-10. Darius is averaging 21. He's got almost 7 assists a game and 1 steal a game. So maybe he's shooting lights out from 3. He's shooting 42% from 3 on 6.9 attempts a game. What? Especially as like the main facilitator. That's nuts. Jared Allen, the Fro. Gotta love the Fro. He is also he's locking down on defense a lot. His block numbers are down as of last year, I believe. Yeah, he's been averaging over 1 block his whole career except this season. But I really don't think that's that big of a deal because of Evan Mobley also being in that front court. So yeah, I think the Cavs have a really good run at making the finals. I don't think there's really any other teams right now other than maybe the Celtics that can give them a run for their money in the East. I mean, maybe if the Hawks play playoffs. But okay, moving on to the Celtics. They looked phenomenal in the beginning of the year. They looked really good. They looked really good in the beginning of the year. They only have 16 losses, but as like the defending champs, I expected them to be better than they were. Obviously, that's not the case. JB and JT are both all-stars. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're both all-stars. I don't know if Jaylen Brown necessarily deserved it, but the front court in the East was kind of weak this year for all-stars. But also that's just because of the injury bug going on, I also think. Yeah, just really surprised Jaylen Brown is an all-star, but at the same time, like, this year was kind of just, if you had a good season as a front court player, you probably could have just gotten in. Pistons. Let's talk about the Pistons. Okay, first off, let's go back to the Celtics. I do want to say, just because they're having they're kind of plateauing now. I still wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. I mean, at the end of the day, they are the defending champs. They just won, so they obviously know what to expect going into the playoffs. So I don't really think they're gonna plateau as much in the playoffs. I think once the playoffs roll around, they'll definitely be like, we got it. Like, we're enough messing around. Okay, under the Pistons, Cade got his first All-Star nod, which I think he really deserved it. I mean, he has been killing it this year. Absolutely dominating. And the Pistons are the 7th seed right now after having the worst season they've ever had in history. For the 7th seed, Cade is averaging 25, 9, and 5. Cade Cunningham, the 6'7" point guard. And he makes a lot of tough shots. Tobias Harris, surprisingly looking good. Looking not too bad. Jaden Ivey was looking amazing before he ended up getting hurt. Get well soon, Jaden Ivey. Really hope you do come back. But I think he's out for the season, no? Will it tell me on here? Okay, so he'll be updated in another 4 weeks. Okay. And then Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, they've just been low-key just been shooting the piss out of the ball. They really have been. And Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson. Asar Thompson, I will say on men, has been having a much better season. But Asar Thompson, they're both basically the same player. And I think that's really funny considering they're twins. I would like him to find his jumper, but when there's already so many guys on the team that can shoot, I think the fact that he is able to rebound, he's a good cutter, a lob threat, obviously. It's not really that big of a deal, but I would like to see him develop a consistent jumper. I think they can go. I think they'll make it past the first round. I think they can make it past the first round, maybe. Actually, no, I doubt that. I think they make the playoffs, but I think they lose the first round. All right, onto the Pacers. They are the 4th seed right now. But Halliburton, I don't know where he went. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened from Hallie last season to this season. I really don't know. Hopefully he can find his game again. He's had a couple good performances. But there's a reason Pascal Siakam is the only All-Star on this team right now, because Hallie is just not having a good season at all. 29 and 21. Not bad for the 4th seed. Does not tell me how many. They're 11.5 games behind, obviously, the 1st seed, but still 4.5 games behind the 3rd seed. So next is the Hawks. Another play-in team, playing really mediocre, rating not good. I feel like they've gotten fleeced on their trades, the multiple trades that they made. Trae Young, I believe, was a snubbed All-Star, but at the same time, I just think that the pool of guards in the East was just so good. It does suck seeing someone who averages, 22 and 10, 23 and 11, not make the All-Star game. Kind of wild. His shooting splits are not good. Not good at all. 40% from the field, 34 from 3. I mean, he's shooting below average from 3. At the same time, though, you don't want to leave him open. So, yeah, I don't think Trae Young's going to be a Hawk much longer, honestly. I think the Hawks need to pull their head out of their ass and actually try to help him out. Otherwise, he's gone. Moving on to the Heat. Thank God that Jimmy Butler trade finally went through, I was sick and tired of that whole thing going on. I'm a huge Jimmy Butler fan. Like I said, I started watching basketball 2019, 2022, or 2020 season, the bubble season. So like my first time like really experiencing the NBA playoffs was that Jimmy Butler Heat run, the first Jimmy Butler Heat run. One of the best Heat playoff performers ever in the history. No doubt about that. I mean, the fact that he took them to the finals twice, I think the first time as a 4 seed, the second time as an 8 seed, and the conference finals 3 times. I mean, that's just he carried those Heat squads. And I really wish the Heat organization tried a little harder to get more people to help him out. Obviously, he's on the Warriors now, so that's not really anything too crazy. Tyler Hero got his first All-Star nod. Love me some Tyler Hero. He's my hero. Pause. I think Tyler Hero deserved it. He has had a really good season. I think I think he really deserved this. 35 or 23 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 46 from the field, 39 from 3, and he's shooting 9, almost 10 threes a game. I think he's playing phenomenal. Bam is kind of having a rough season. Only 7 rebound. I get he's 5'10" center, 5'11" center, but he's not even looking like the, defensive player of the year like we thought he could be. Last year he was 3rd. So I don't even think he's gonna get close to that. I mean, we all know who the DPOY is gonna be. It's gonna be Wemby. Like, there's just no way. He's averaging 4 blocks a game. 4 blocks a game. Who the fuck can do that? They did get Andrew Wiggins and Davion Mitchell. They just recently got Davion Mitchell. I think they have better pieces. I wish they had those pieces when Jimmy Butler was around. But I think they have guys who can actually come in and play the way the Heat want to play basketball. Oh, also got a 2025 protected first-round pick. Not bad. Not bad. Under the Hornets. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know. Like, LaMelo's playing good, but like just empty stats, really. I mean, I literally saw a video of someone asking him about like the offense and stuff. And it was like a question where you think like a basketball player should like really give you kind of like a detailed cerebral answer. And he responds with like, "Oh yeah, yeah, coach drew that one up nicely," or something like that. It's like, what? But I do love watching LaMelo play. I mean, he really is fun to watch. But I mean, the only reason I would have watched the Hornets is because of obviously LaMelo, but LaMelo with Brandon Miller. Oh my God, Brandon Miller was looking so good before he went out. And on top of that, I feel like not a lot of people were talking about Trey Mann. Before Trey Mann got hurt, and this could just be the Thunder bias in me. Before Trey Mann got hurt, he had a good case to be 6th man of the year, in my opinion. Shooting 43% from the field, but 40 from 3, and he was averaging 14 points. I mean, he was literally just out there to hoop. He was just scoring. I mean, 3 assists. But just only got 13 games out of him, so it definitely sucks. They traded away Mark Williams, which they got Nurkic in return. Or not in return, but they got Nurkic to like replace him. They got Dalton Connect, who I think you need shooters around LaMelo. So that's I don't have a whole lot for the Hornets other than that they're just dog shit. The Knicks. I don't know if you guys have seen the MVP ladder for Vegas odds. Cat is number 4 apparently. I don't know about Vegas odds actually, but I on the MVP ladder for the NBA, Cat is on there. I think Cat's number 4. Which, like, if you really think about it, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Him and Brunson both probably have not cases for MVP, but they both have cases to at least be top 5 in MVP at least. I mean, Jalen Brunson is, the facilitator, but also the scorer at the same time. He's averaging 39% from 3. Also, I would like to say something. You know what? We'll save that for another time. Cat shooting 53% from the field, 42% from 3 on almost 5 threes a game. Okay. I mean, like, he's been doing that, but like he's still doing it. That's nuts. I feel like a lot of people are talking about it. He does foul a little more than I'd like him to, especially since he's the only 7-footer on the team. And Tibbs really, 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 really loves to just give a lot of minutes to players instead of kind of like spreading out his rotation. So I think that is a little bit of a problem. Like I said, Cat and Brunson are all stars. Their offense is looking fantastic. I mean, Mikal Bridges, OG, when OG and Mikal play, it's so nice to watch because not only is Josh Hart literally the heart and soul of this team, but then the other 4 starters, if someone's not getting it going, someone else can just get it going. Like, it's so crazy to just like watch these sequences of just like, Brunson having like a 8-point run by himself, Cat having like a 6-point run by himself or something like that. And then like 5-6 possessions later, you have Mikal Bridges like 3 possessions in a row just hitting these like tough fadeaway middies or a corner 3, or when you have OG and Mikal locking up on defense. Their defense numbers, like the team as a whole, 14. I mean, they are in the top half of like good, like they're in the good half of defense, but just 14th. You would expect more, or at least I guess I would expect more when it comes to having a team and the starters are Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Cat. Like, those are Mikal and Josh are 2 of the hardest playing guys out there. OG is literally known as one of the good perimeter defenders in the league, and Cat is known to, be a shot blocker. He's averaging 2.5 blocks a game. Or, sorry, 8.8. I was looking at turnovers. I apologize. 0.8 blocks a game, which I believe is his lowest. No. Okay, no, it's not. I apologize. But, like, you feel like with that starting lineup, they'd have a much better defense, and they just don't. But I would not want to play them in the playoffs at all. Like, I'm honestly happy I'm a Thunder fan because although there was a lot of trades that happened for the West, I feel like the West is just much easier this year, like, to get through. I probably shouldn't have said that. Let me knock on wood or something. But I wouldn't want to go against the top 3 seeds in the East, personally. We're going to talk about the Nets now. I don't really have a whole lot to say. They kept Cam Johnson and Nicholas Claxton, who I thought were both going to be gone by the trade deadline. I'm a little upset that the Thunder didn't trade for Cam Johnson, but at the same time, I think there's really no reason to shake up what we got going right now. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keon Johnson and Noah Clowney have both been looking really solid, though. I haven't seen a whole lot of games, but when I have watched them, I feel like Noah Clowney isn't playing horrible. I guess I'm just talking out of my ass because I'm looking at his numbers right now, and numbers are kind of mid. But the eye test, in my opinion, those guys are looking pretty good. Obviously, Cam Johnson is going to be in the 3-point competition. He's looking like one of the best 3-point shooters this year. Don't have a whole lot to do. I don't think they're going to make the play-in or the playoffs forever. D'Lo is back, which is D'Lo is back, which is honestly kind of funny after always watching those Brooklyn Nets highlights back in the day when he was on there the first time. And I have in my notes right here, Ben Simmons has kind of been getting in a groove, and they just bought out his contract, and he's not going to play with the Nets anymore. I will say I'm a big Ben Simmons fan. I'm a huge Ben Simmons fan. 6 points. You wish he was averaging more, but almost 7 assists, 4 rebounds for 25 minutes a game. Those numbers should probably be a little more up considering his size. But I saw something that said he might be going to like the Warriors or I think I saw the Cavs, which he should not be going to the Cavs, if anything. Yeah, or Cavs or Clippers. Sorry, not Warriors. Cavs or Clippers. What? Clippers, honestly, that might not be bad for him. Okay. On to the Magic now. The Magic. Holy cow. Have they... Talk about the injury bug, am I right? They're currently sitting in the 8th seed. They were the 5th seed, I believe, last year. Paolo took a huge jump before he got injured. So he's kind of digressed a little bit, but that's, he's coming back from pretty serious injury. And it's so funny because when he went out, Franz Wagner started lighting up. And it was like, oh, okay. Okay. We're just gonna have to deal with this shitty light. I apologize. I really do. The lighting is not gonna be good in this video. I recorded this at a very bad time. Very bad time. Jalen Suggs has gotten hurt. Franz obviously went out. They've only gotten 19 games from Paolo. When Franz went out, Jalen started hooping, and then Suggs got hurt. And then Mo was hooping, and then Mo got hurt. Mo's out for the rest of the season. But I mean, you got to give it to Mosley, man. Coach Mosley. I mean, he works those guys. And those guys, you can tell, love playing for him because they really go nuts. Wizards, not a whole lot to talk about the Wizards. Traded for Chris Middleton. Feel really bad. Hopefully his career doesn't die there. Jordan Poole was looking really good in the beginning of the year and then just has been kind of consistent as of lately. I like Jordan Poole. I like Jordan Poole's game. Obviously all the history that he's had, I feel bad that that's happened to him because I feel like he didn't deserve that. Bilal Koulibaly. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Bilal. He has been looking very good. I believe he was drafted last year, right? Yeah, last year. Last year's the 7th overall pick. He would look really good. Really good. Averaging 12 points on 33 minutes. since he started every game. But like, he's looking like that motherfucker, man. He's looking like a really good player. And then lastly, for the East, we have the Raptors, and they are 13th. I mean, they're 13th right now. That's not really something to be happy about. Not really something to be happy about, like, at all. Um, they traded for Brandon Ingram, which that potential starting lineup of Quickly, RJ Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and Pirtle, that could be very, very good. But really not a whole lot to say about them. I really honestly haven't been watching too many games because I thought they were going to be asked this season, and they are. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about them, but I do think this Brandon Ingram trade is honestly not that bad for them. All right. Now we're moving on to the West. Okay. Let's talk about the West. Spurs. They're the 12th seed right now. But Wemby, defensive player of the year. No way he's not defensive player of the year. He's averaging 4 blocks a game. 3.9 blocks a game. Hello? What? 3.9 blocks a game? Just like casual? Averaging 24 blocks or 24 points, sorry. And only 9 rebounds a game, but at the same time, he really isn't in the post a lot. Which I don't blame him. But I do feel like there should be times where he should just be in the post rather than all the way out in the perimeter. I feel like him cutting, just like the defense is way too focused on him to where you could literally just do whatever you wanted with him and someone's going to be open. Like, I think no matter what, if he's moving around, if he's cutting and you're not even going to throw him a lob, the defense is going to gravitate towards him to where you could probably just kick it out to the perimeter and get someone on an open look 3. And the fact that they just got De'Aaron Fox, they could make a playoff push. They definitely could make a push for the playoffs, for sure. Like I said, they're the 12th seed right now. They're 22 and 26. And considering all of the trades that have gone on, it's gonna be kind of rough for them to do it. But I think Wemby has the talent to where he can bring them to that. And on top of that, with Fox to help him, and as good of a talent as Fox is, it's just like, what more can you do? They managed to keep Stephon Castle in that trade, basically keep everybody in that trade. And Wemby's an all-star, first-time all-star. Good for him. Definitely deserved. Talk about my Thunder. My Thunder. Oh my gosh. I really do sometimes take for granted how lucky I am to be a Thunder fan. Especially becoming a Thunder fan at the time I did. I started watching basketball in the bubble, and that's when I became a Thunder fan. And that's when they were like tanking. And then they did kind of tank after that season. But I think they've made the playoffs. Well, not the playoffs. They've made the playoffs 3 out of the 4-5 seasons I've watched. They are really looking like the team to win the championship. I mean, they're 40-9. 40-9. What? 40-9? They haven't even lost 10 games yet. And they're playing tonight. And Chet Holmgren is coming back. Apparently. I think. I'm hoping he comes. You're telling me this team is 40-9? And I don't ever bring this up to one of my friends who's a Cavs fan. But the Thunder are like missing a lot of guys. They have missed a lot of guys. AJ Mitchell, he's been out. He was looking like a phenomenal second round pick. I don't know how the Thunder keep getting away with finding these guys. I really don't know how they do it. AJ Mitchell was literally looking like one of the best rookies in the class, coming into a first seed team and getting like good minutes. A second round pick and the number 1 seed getting that many minutes is just nuts. And he's been out. And, it's not really affecting it, but it's affecting it. Like we don't really have playmakers. Like Shea is our primary playmaker, and he really isn't a playmaker. So it definitely hurts not having AJ Mitchell. Jason Wallace has been out for a bit. Chet is back, but like AJ Mitchell has been out games. Caruso has struggled to stay healthy. Chet has missed most of the season. J-Dub has been out a couple of games. Hartenstein has been out. Hartenstein only has 29 games played. Chet has 10. Caruso has 29. AJ Mitchell only has 34. You know what I mean? Like, good players on this team have been getting injured, and the Thunder are not using that as an excuse. They still go in and they kick people in the fucking teeth because they can. Shea has added a 3 to his game. He's only, I think he's shooting just below 35. He's shooting 35 from 3, league average. He's averaging 32.8 points a game. And he's shooting 53% from field. 60% on his twos. 60% on his twos. What the fuck? And like a lot of these twos he's taking are hard. Difficult. Obviously, if you can't tell, I watch the Thunder the most with how I'm talking about them. The team is just role player central, though. I mean, you have Andrew Wiggins, Jason Wallace, Luguentz Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, Kenrich Williams. Kenrich Williams is playing good minutes this year. We had AJ Mitchell, Caruso, Isaiah Joe. Like, are you kidding me? And then J-Dub and Shea are both all-stars. Honestly, kind of surprised J-Dub made it. I think he deserved it. But I really wasn't thinking he was going to get the nod this year. Okay, onto the Rockets. The Rockets. Honestly, after the season they had last year, be fourth in the West right now. Well, they did have that good kind of ending to last season. So I think they've definitely taken that momentum from the latter half of last season and brought it into today's season. The Houston Rockets are playing very good, though. Very good. Sengun got the All-Star nod, which I was a little surprised about. But I think because they're the 4th seed, that's probably why he got it. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Sengun should have gotten an All-Star this year. I really do think that it should have been Sabonis. I think Sabonis deserved it over Sengun. But at the same time, Sengun is having a good season. You can't really get mad at him for getting the nod. Jalen Green, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a really big fan of his game. I'm really not. 22 years old. He's still very young. He's been in the league 4 years. But he's just struggling to find his shot still. But he is young. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's young, but he is really struggling to find that shot. hope, and it doesn't really seem like Fred VanVleet is really trying to be a mentor for him. I could just be talking out of my ass here, but I feel like if I was Fred in the situation, I would be on his ass about how to play the game. I mean, Fred VanVleet is 30. You have a championship. You're a veteran on this team. A bunch of young guys. Hey, help the kid out a little bit. Maybe he is, and Jalen Green just isn't that good of a player. Maybe honestly, I think he should. I don't think he should be a Rocket anymore, personally. Amen Thompson. Was not familiar with your game, sir. I take that back. I understood what the Thompson twins brought when it came to the sport. I just didn't think it would. I didn't think they'd be able to do what they're doing now this fast. I think they're playing the Thompson twins are playing really good. Amen obviously is having a much better season. Amen just hit a game winner the other day, or like a week ago. And I mean, to be a shooting guard and rebound the way he does, oh my God. And he's so fast. I'm glazing. Pelicans, haven't really watched much of the Pelicans, and let's be honest, is there any reason to? Zion hardly plays. They don't have obviously they don't have Brandon Ingram anymore. Zion has 15 games on the season. DeJounte Murray, they got 31 games out before he went out for the rest of the season, which sucks because I really like DeJounte Murray. And this is just Trey Murphy's team now. Trey Murphy he's looking nice. I haven't really watched a whole bunch of the Pels though. But they've got some weird injury bug going on over there. I hope they can get past this curse or whatever. Oh my gosh. Oh. Holmgren is starting today. Okay. Next I have the Blazers. I'm gonna be honest as well. Haven't watched a whole lot of Blazers. I thought they were gonna be horrible this year. They won 9 of their last 10, I think. At least when I wrote this down in my notes, they won 9 of their last 10. I wonder if it will say it on here. The last. Does not seem like they do. Okay, well, I guess that doesn't matter. Humani Kamara has been looking pretty decent. Scoot has stepped it up from the beginning of this season. He was looking a little rough. He's been looking really good as of late, really solid. Like I said though, I haven't really watched a whole lot. I'm honestly surprised they didn't trade away some guys, like having Robert Williams, DeAndre Ayton, and Danny Avdia. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised at least Danny Avdia is off the team yet. I thought Danny Avdia would get traded for sure. Has Ayton really been doing anything? Guys, I am not a big fan of Ayton, only because of how he carried himself after the finals loss. He acted like a complete man-child after that finals run. Just could not accept any responsibility. I hope he can build his confidence. Okay, 7.2 rebounds, but like at the same time, like, bro, 7.2 rebounds is it? You're 7-1. You're 7-1. You're 7'1". You're 7 foot. You're 7 foot, 250 pounds. Shove somebody on the wing. Grab the board, bro. I feel like you should be having more boards than that. I could just be a motherfucker, but Oh, wait. Apparently he's averaging a total of. Oh. Oh, I apologize. Okay, never mind. Forget everything I just said. Because he's averaging 10 rebounds a game. He's averaging 10 rebounds a game. Okay, never mind. I apologize. I was looking at defensive rebounds. I apologize. Still trying to get used to this basketball reference thing. Okay, onto the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies. Oh my goodness. The Grizzlies. Ja Morant. Ja Morant, please. I beg you, Ja Morant. Just get in the dunk contest one time. Please. You can't be saying like you don't want to dunk or you're not going to dunk anymore. And then just do these outlandish moves in midair as a 6'1" on a 6'2" on a good day. You know what I mean? Like, come on. JJJ, Triple J has been he's been the best player on this team. Even Ja Morant will say that. And that's no discredit to Ja. But, you know, Jaren Jackson has been playing has the most games played. Ja Morant has been out for a bit. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been looking like a really solid point guard to come off the bench and lead the team. JJJ is an all-star. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, I mean, their second seed. I believe they have the fifth best defense and the fifth best offense. I think the Grizzlies are kind of showing like what like they should have been able to do. They've just kind of dealt with the injury bug. On to the Warriors. The team that is single-handedly ruining the rest of Steph Curry's career. They traded for Jimmy Butler. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I'm in the playoffs, the last thing I want to do, especially as a Thunder fan, the last thing I would want to see as a Thunder fan is the Jimmy Curry Warriors. The Warriors have been the only team this year to beat the Thunder twice. And a lot of that is coming off Curry just hitting the craziest shots. But that's just because it's Steph Curry. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, no matter what, I see Steph Curry shoot the ball, and I just think it's going in. Everybody thinks that. I think now, though, that they don't have Andrew Wiggins anymore, definitely helps because then they don't really have a guy that could be put on Shea. But let me stop talking about. Okay, the Warriors. Curry has had zero help. AirPods is having a horrible, not good year. Except at the trade deadline. He popped off on the trade deadline. Steph's an all-star, of course. I mean, if the all-star game's in San Francisco, there'd be no reason for not to have Steph Curry. I don't think this Jimmy Butler trade was a really good idea. I don't think it helps the team. I think they gave him way too much money. I love Jimmy Butler. I also think it's really funny that he didn't want to go to this team and still got traded. But at the same time, we'll see. They're currently 11 right now. Jimmy Butler has yet to play a game for them. Anyways, let's move on to the Nuggets. Russ, my Lord and Savior, Russell Westbrook. How happy I am that you have found a team that finally accepts you. You know what I mean? Russ, the past 2, 3, almost 4 years now, just slander. Just an unreal amount of slander. Ungodly amounts of slander. Just so unnecessary. Just so unnecessary. Unnecessary slander against Russ. And I'm really glad that the Nuggets have been home for him. I really do. I think Jokic and Russ complement each other really well. Murray has had a slow season. He's starting to catch up now. The Nuggets are currently the 3rd seed. They're 33-19. Like I said, like Jamal Murray has started to pick it up. He's averaging 20, 24 rebounds and 6 assists with us almost 1.5 steals a game. Shooting splits are a little rough. That's okay. Michael never passed the rock. Porter Jr. Just had like 39 points the other game with 4 assists. 4 assists, not bad. Jokic is an all-star now, obviously. And again, Jokic currently is number 2 in the MVP ladder behind Shea, who I think deserves the MVP. But I wouldn't be mad if Jokic got it. I mean, Jokic really is just the offense. Like, the Nuggets are horrible without Jokic. The Nuggets are horrible without Jokic. Let's talk about the Lakers. I mean, do I really have to talk about the Lakers? They just got fucking Luka Doncic. What? How? You know, and you traded away Anthony Davis and Max Christie? That's it? For Luka Doncic. That's it. What a fucking steal. Don't get me wrong. Anthony Davis is still a really good player, but Anthony Davis is 32. They're currently the 5th seed right now. They're 30-19. Anthony Davis is 31. Davis is 31. But guess what, guys? Doncic. 25. Luka Doncic is 25, I believe. 25, 26. And top 3 basketball player in the world, universe. Why would you ever make that trade? Rob Pelinka finally pulled his head out of his ass too. He traded for Mark Williams. Now I'm kind of confused because it seems like he's trying to go for a win now with Luka and LeBron. I feel like at this point it's kind of just like you kind of just like I feel like it's you don't make the playoff push here, right? But I mean, they're fifth in the West now, so they've got a shot. They've got a really good shot. I mean, I'm a big fan of JJ Redick. I loved his podcast before he coached. I was honestly really sad that he went to go coach. I would much rather just prefer him being a podcaster, but life isn't fair. I can't really do anything about that. LeBron, 40 years old and playing like a top 20 player still in the league. What the fuck? And he's been putting on a show while Luka sits courtside. Almost like he's like, see what you have now? Like, look at the team that you have to look forward to. They're playing tomorrow. I cannot wait to watch the Lakers play tomorrow. And like I said, I have in my notes, no centers. They need centers. And then they just recently got Mark Williams. And they traded away Dalton Connect. I believe it was just Dalton Connect. Don't quote me. Obviously, LeBron's an all-star. 21 all-star seasons. 21. He's played 22 seasons in the NBA. 21 all-star seasons. Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna stop glazing the goat. Clippers. Honestly, they've dropped a lot in the standings. I did not expect them to even be like I guess they are technically in the play-in right now, but I thought they weren't. I didn't think they'd be the 7th seed. Like I thought they would be around like the 9 or 10th seed. Kawhi has come back and has made a great contribution. He's played 13 games and he's averaging 16 points. I saw a video where someone was talking like he doesn't have that burst really that he used to have, but I think with how many injuries he's just had, it's just good to see him on the court again. Like you can definitely tell he wants to just play the game. He's still trying to find, like trying to work out the kinks. But he's playing really good. James Harden not having a career resurgence. I mean, he's shooting 39% from the field. But at the same time, like back in the day, he would be putting up more than 15 field goals a game and probably be averaging around like 45+%. Norman Powell, I think, was an all-star stub. I think Norman Powell deserved the all-star over James Harden, and I love James Harden. But I genuinely think that Powell should have been the all-star instead of Harden. Zubac, Ivica Zubac. I think that's how you pronounce. I just call him Zubac, dude. Or Zubac. Did I forget? 15 points, 12 rebounds, 1.1 blocks a game. You know, can't be mad at that. Really solid. Zubac has been looking really nice this season. On to the Timberwolves. Holy fuck. Timberwolves. They're the 6th seed. And I feel really bad that they traded away Cat, because Julius Randle, in my opinion, both the guys that they traded for are not even playing right now. DiVincenzo is getting reevaluated in 3 weeks, and Julius Randle is getting reevaluated in 2. Anthony Edwards is shooting the piss out of the ball, 42% from 3 on almost 10 threes a game. I think he's one of the. I think I just saw something that said he's the youngest or fastest player to achieve 1,000 3-pointers in a season. I don't think anybody will pass Curry, but I think Anthony Edwards has a good shot at number 2 or number 3, an all-time 3-pointers made. Julius Randle, I don't like him on the Timberwolves personally. I think trading away Karl Anthony Towns hurt this team to the point where they're not. I don't think this team is gonna be successful in the next couple of years. I could be wrong because I don't know what kind of picks they have. All right, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, just not a whole lot to say about the Timberwolves other than just kind of disappointing. Especially after making the the Western Conference Finals last year. Very disappointing, very, very disappointing season. Let's talk about the Kings. The Kings. De'Aaron Fox is low-key a dickhead. I'm gonna be honest. He's low-key a dickhead. I feel bad for a lot of guys on the Kings. De'Aaron Fox just kind of let them out to dry. I love De'Aaron Fox on the Spurs. I think it's a really good spot for him. I think the way he went about trying to get there, though, was very, very shitty. And obviously he just doesn't care. They got Levine. Levine had a horrible game the other day, but I think I was watching Kenny Beecham's podcast and he was talking about. I think he said it was like that was just kind of the whole team had a kind of a shitty game. So I'm not really gonna put that past him. They also got Jonas Valanciunas, which I was very surprised by. They got a big. I think he's going to be a backup. Monk is getting moved to the starter spot probably. Okay, I think Sabonis was an all-star snub, and Keegan Murray, he's gonna need to find last year Keegan Murray, the year before that Keegan Murray. He has been not good. And Doug Christie, he's looking like a really solid coach. Okay, they lost their last 2 games. Oh, they've actually been losing a lot now. I did not know that. Okay, so it definitely seems like this. It definitely seems like this trade really kind of hurt the locker room. DeMar DeRozan though and Zach LaVine, I think, because they already have that chemistry, and Malik Monk already has chemistry with him and Sabonis. I think they'll be fine. I think they can make a play-in push. But if I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know. The Suns, they're the 9th seed. They're 25 and 25. They're just at 500. KD and Book been the only ones doing something. They're both averaging 26 points. Book's got 6 assists. KD's got 4. And KD's got 6 rebounds, and Book's got 4. KD is shooting 52 from the field and almost 40 from 3. Book 45% from the field, 34 from 3. Not horrible by Book, but they made some decent trades. Like Nick Richards is not bad, but like this team really doesn't have depth. And there's a reason that in the 3rd quarter against the Thunder, they made one field goal, I believe. I actually heard the stat. I could be wrong. Again, might be talking out of my ass, but I'm almost positive I heard that. KD was an all-star. They probably could have had 2 all-stars, but the argument there is they aren't a good enough team to have 2 all-stars, which I agree. I don't think they should be rewarded with 2 all-stars. But at the same time, I don't like thinking like that. The Mavericks. They have actually made a lot of moves. To get some guys. The only problem is 3 or 2 of the guys they traded for are not playing. Max Christie is coming in, and he is hooping. 15 points, 3.5 assists, 7.5 rebounds, motherfucker. He's shooting 57% from 3. That's not going to stay. Like, I know that's not going to stay. But Max Christie was not really getting minutes on the Lakers. Like, he was getting some this year, but I feel like he should have been getting some last year. And finally, I think he's like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, someone's giving me minutes. Like, let me show you what I can do. So we're not going to talk about Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison's a fucking moron. I think everybody can agree with that. I think a lot of people have already said enough about the Luka trade. I have already said a little bit. I'm not really going to dwell on it more. AD is an all-star. One last team to talk about. Not a whole lot to talk about with the Mavericks. Like I said, they're the 8th seed right now. And the way they're set up, they can be a much better team, but they're not going to be a better team than what they had with Luka. So, and then the Jazz, I haven't really watched a whole lot of Jazz because I mean they're the 14th seed. Who really wants to watch the 14th seed play? I do know though that Keontae George, Markkanen, Colin Sexton, and Jordan Clarkson are kind of hooping, and I love Colin Sexton. So seeing his highlights on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, love it. not a good team, really. I mean, they aren't a good team. And I really didn't know what they were trying to do this trade deadline. I couldn't tell if they were buying or selling. I really couldn't. Yeah, I really don't. They like yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing that they did. I thought they would try to like trade some guys away. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't trade anybody away, which I could be wrong. Hold on. Okay. February. Okay, yeah, they got Jalen Hood Shafino. That's yeah, that's it. Yeah, they got. So I apologize. Sorry. Um, so they got Mohamed Bamba and PJ Tucker, and they traded away Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills, and a pick, which I'm kind of confused because me personally, I'm trading away like Sexton and Clarkson because you have people on the team. Um, you have people on the team. You have Keontae George, who is proving to be a really good young player. Lauri Markkanen, who's 27. He's in his prime right now. Get rid of Walker Kessler. Trade away John Collins. Trade away Colin Sexton. Trade away Clarkson. Like, this team is bad enough to where Cody Williams should be starting. Kyle Filipowski should probably be getting more minutes a game. Now they are playing almost everybody. Like I literally on this 18-man roster, I have seen. Okay, this guy's only played 3 minutes, but like the lowest amount of games on here, Patty Mills, 17 games. Like these are from like actual. I don't know. I thought the Jazz should have blown it up, and they didn't. So yeah, especially as the 14th seed, I'm really confused. I thought they would have done more. Maybe they're sitting on a bunch of draft picks. I mean, not like a crazy amount. They do have 2 20-25s, and yeah, they have. Never mind. They do have a lot of first round picks coming up though, but I honestly thought they should have just sold. But I guess what do I know? You know what I mean? All right, guys, that was it. For rambling hoops. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like and subscribe maybe, or don't. I really, I'm just here to talk basketball. And I'll see you guys some other time. Deuces.